On today's conversation on the Benjamin Zulu Show, we're talking about people who've had sex before, so they're no longer virgins, and how they, especially women who have evidence of, not being a virgin, you have a child out there. And when you try to keep yourself or say no to sexual advances, the things that are actually said to you, and probably we might get answers today of how to just, give them back. Maneno. The ones they, okay, anyway. So, give you scenarios that we've gotten on our Facebook page. And it says, Jackie says, on one occasion, two so-called men approached me. And all I had at the end of the story was, you fear men. Second time I was told the same exact words. And one they continue to address and say, what do you fear? And you're no longer a virgin. It feels so good looking at this kind of people, knowing that there's nothing they can do about it. After that, I walk like I'm the only creature in this universe. Respect to single mothers who keep their self-esteem and self-control. Someone then says, very true. Someone just tells you, unaringa na umezalisha. You are feeling yourself like that and you're a mother. That doesn't mean I should disrespect myself. Now, this one really cracked me up. Like, there are levels that people will go to just demean you because you've had sex before or because you are a mother, a single mother, and you're trying to keep yourself pure. Winans Mresh says, like, after refusing to accept this guy, he told me, after all, you had a man, or you think you're still a virgin. Another said, you will just die and your body will be eaten by dudus. Another one told me, you think you will live forever? And my answer was, yes, I will. Oh my God, we are going through a lot, but I thank God I'm still strong. Why is it this difficult? If you are a virgin, then it's a difficult situation. Now you are not. You have a child. We have a situation. No, you're keeping yourself.
Okay, Magali, so first of all those comments are derogatory.
Very. Extremely.
They're demeaning, improper, abusive. And when a person uses that language on you, you're supposed to make it clear to them. This is abusive, derogatory, and demeaning. First of all, I am not my body. Mm-hmm. You're saying this body will die. This is just where I live.
Yes.
I treasure this body the same way I treasure everything that matters to me. I am not my body. First of all, these people already have assumed virginity is all about the body. So let's start by definitions then. There is that part of your body that is virgin physically.
Yes.
But it's okay by the time you have a child or you're in a long-term relationships are serviced by...
Yeah. Praise Jesus. Praise Jesus again.
So whenever you mention, this guy 3 years, automatically the gaps are filled.
Yes. Very fast.
So maintenance of relationships is expensive. And I keep telling people, you're trying to do it because it's being done. Yeah. But have you done your cost analysis?
Yeah.
And I was telling my the mentees in the university that you don't need a relationship to get married.
Yeah.
Hey, you don't need this boyfriend way to grow together. We see in the future if it works. In the meantime, you'll have encountered so much risks and exposure and memories that will haunt you. Is one girl, this pre-25 madness. So this kid, for lack of wisdom, she's holding a treasure and she has been spared traumas. But she's just the social pressure and the peer pressure to explain your escapades is what is making her feel ashamed that I'm naive, inexposed. Yeah. So what are the answers then when people come attacking you with what is special
about you?
Number one, Mikali, what matters is not physical virginity but celibacy, the lifestyle you live, not the state of your body. Because we are allowed to grow. And maybe you did not start with discipline and celibacy and principles. You started elsewhere and you evolved here to living celibate and preserving yourself for the right time and observing sexual purity, perhaps for spiritual reasons, perhaps for practical reasons, perhaps for... I was telling men yesterday that if you're a guy with a vision, you have no permission to sleep around. The only people allowed to sleep with anything. There's a group that can sleep with anything. And we hit it where they see it.
Oh God.
Bad boys of no filter.
Yes.
Who are not trying to build anything. They have nothing to lose. You put them online, they don't even notice it. Somebody was, okay, all right, they're even high on things.
Yes.
It's not even entertaining. If you are building anything, that thing you are building has conditions. And if you violate them, you are kicked out of it. You forfeit. You're building a career, a family man, a name, a fame. If you're going anywhere with your life, the moment you remove, you start unzipping. Yeah. You may get a few who don't threaten you, but eventually you meet one Delilah. One.
Yes. Yeah.
And I was telling them, some accusations women make are too personal. You can't answer them. This woman may want more money or may want to punish you.
Yes.
For having hit and run.
Yes.
Or for not giving her enough money she wants. Or for having moved on to another person. Or for being fed up with her toxicity.
Yeah.
Then she goes to tell people that in the bedroom you're useless.
Yeah.
All you do is to prick her with your toothpick. There are some things they write. Some things women write, it's impossible to respond. So how do you respond?
No.
You take photos of your anatomy
No.
and guys, you can see it's not a toothpick. How do you respond?
Yeah.
At that time she's talking like that because that's how she lives. You know, this drunkard drink, they can say anything. You're trying to live a proper life and persuade people to vote you somewhere. Or you're trying to interview for CEO. Or you have something to protect. You have a family now. You have a reputation now. You're a father now. You're trying to be a leader now. Men, we don't have any more permission to misbehave. Just because you're focusing on women does not mean men are more free. No. Our trap is worse. Only that we are not given the hymen, that muscle that shows whether it may not be there, but there's another place it is. There's another place it is. Mwikali, for men, the danger is higher, but it is not well spoken of. For many reasons I gave you. Men are culturally thought to have more room to roam. And some even think men are not monogamous by nature.
Logical,
you know,
creation.
and they've said all that madness is for when you're going nowhere except sleeping around.
Yes.
If as a man you're going anywhere with your life, you must start with the discipline. There's some greatness as its own dictates. Wherever you're going in your life, you want to rise. Rising. The place of greatness as its own dictate that does not negotiate. And one of them is you cannot afford to make mistakes. Those mistakes, when you stay down here, they'll never weigh you down. But if you try to go up, they become burdens. There are some people made blunders when they forgot. One day they'll become a great person. Every person who goes far in life aims at it. Greatness is achieved by aiming. Not everybody aims or gets there, but those people who are determined, they usually get there. They become a reputable person in society. They become a general. They have a rank now. So by the time they have a rank, they have done embarrassing mistakes that hold them back. Yeah. And many times they have been disqualified. Okay. And I've told you, I have watched as we lost governors, as we lost presidents, as we lost CEOs, as we lost directors who could have changed the course of social history, who could have brought new change. I watched that area of discipline taken advantage of by unscrupulous. Let me remind you, men, some of the girls you are fascinated with don't deserve you.
Hey!
Please.
Yes.
Right now you look like you're in the same place. Yeah. But where you are going, they are not going there. That's why they are very eager to give you things. Yes. To get a slice of your flesh near the heart. The Portia story.
Yes.
The Merchant of Venice.
Yes.
They want a pound of flesh near the heart. Where they want to lay hold of you where it matters. And we were saying yesterday, I was asking guys, you know, some of these women are capable of playing dirty, but when they are sweet, you don't see it. Yeah. You need the sweetness and flatty. So you go away all the way to give yourself away. When you try to fight, she has the capacity to grab you by your articles of association, where you can't resist. People can't know what is happening. No. But you're grabbed somewhere. You comply to everything. Yes. you know those people, you are on a table and they're stepping on your toes. But on top here, you're smiling as if everything is okay. But under the table, it's not. There are women who have the capacity. If you get, and I still continue to congratulate that couple that plays. They're really just two friends who came up to play baby mama drama. Yes. Isis Stevens and Nick Quach. Yeah. They make it so raw and real. You have to remember it's only acting. Yes. They have mastered the craft until they make it so good. You don't, some people act in a shoddy way. You have to force yourself to imagine it. If you act badly and you can see it's acting, it feels uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But these guys bring out the emotion. The emotion.
Yes.
A nice guy is trying to talk sense to a senseless woman.
Kabisa.
Your Aunt Beth is coming for hospital tomorrow. They're asking you. So you can't see the price of things have gone up. You're the one connecting people. Deal with that. Don't. And you see him like a good guy trying to talk sense.
Yeah. But no. No.
So they're meant to remind them, you can't go any far when such a woman has a hold on you. The dramas may take 10 years or whatever time, but that time could have been the most fertile time you needed to be moving.
Yeah.
The drama that ensued when David, and I don't know why they don't discuss how tempting it was for David to see that woman naked. And the temptation will never be discussed. It's how you reacted to it. Men, our judgment is very strict, and we are always blamed. That you went after, this is your child, this is your, do this. Especially when you're a man with a life, a future, a name, something. You are held responsible for everything. As a leader, the buck stops with you.
Yeah.
And I hope I've told men that the moment you start getting children outside, you are disqualified for marrying serious women. They don't want drama. In fact, they don't listen to explanations. They just don't want to know how well you organize it. My girl told me I vowed I'm not marrying a person with a child because I don't have space for that.
It's good, very honest.
I'm not saying I'm judging them. I'm just saying for my case, I prefer the same way I've avoided. I expect you to
somehow.
Temptations are everywhere.
Yeah.
There's we were discussing when this guy is telling this lady, because he was the same way they complain you are not even a virgin. They also complain, I've given up everybody, I've turned down all women for you, and now you're disappointing me. When you are turning down women, I was not turning down men.
Yeah.
You're the only person who was wanted
turning
by
down
people.
stones.
So avoid people who come into the superiority complex. So they are doing you a favor by picking you. Just tell them, I don't seem to understand. Could you be a prince in a certain country that I'm not aware? Where are we talking from? Please bring me up to speed. Because you are assuming you have seniority that I'm aware of, and I'm sorry, I'm not aware of it.
Yes, please.
What makes me, why should I feel special? Please, the privilege is mutual.
Yeah.
You're coming for what I have.
Yes.
You're not coming because of how special you are. And I want to know what you have.
Yes.
It should be an agreement.
Yes.
You don't sell, I've rejected all sellers to buy from you. No, either match up to my terms. I'm happy for that. If you can't, thank you very much. This is a big market. So we are saying the rules are as follows. A person who tells you you're no longer virgin, they're assuming that sex happens in your body only. It's very emotional. But the Bible says David went into Bathsheba. It's going into your soul. Interact with your spirit, implant indelible memories, connect you ways that you'll never be able to totally disconnect. You'll always be able to remember it.
Yeah.
It exposes all you have. You're holy of holies, really.
Yeah.
Sex is not just physical. It's emotional, it's soulish, it's mental, it's deep. So tell them, if you're looking for a body, I think they're selling toys. There are things they sell that actually don't have feelings.
Yeah.
And they imitate. So you can go and get, so if you're just looking for a thing.
Yeah, please.
We used to joke in high school because boys ask for hugs a lot. And they praise you really. And we're telling them, just point at a fat tree near you.
Please.
They make it look like you won't feel anything. Just a hug. Or just want somebody to squeeze. You start mango tree. In fact, not that one, the one on the left.
That's the one.
It's big enough. So, in high school, you use those raw jokes to bring them, because their struggles may look tiny to you.
Yeah, but then they're...
To them, because of where they are.
Yeah.
One boy said a girl ambushed him with a hug. And he lost it.
What?
His knees melted. Form 2 boy was harassed by Form 1 girl. The one girl had a crush on him, but he was just withdrawn.
Oh my
And she's coming and borrowing books and said, then hugging, ambushed. Then oppressed.
Oh
So
my
a hug there.
Yes. It's huge.
Because of their stage of development,
Yeah.
how their bodies are responding. So
Yeah.
one girl asked the mom why, when another boy passed the hand through her neck, she felt electricity. She was in primary school.
Oh.
So she wanted mom to explain, why is Steve's hand charged? With electricity. So the chemistry now, the mom had to explain. So to them, hugs are things.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, to say sex for you is not just physical, and you're supposed to explain. If you need to explain, tell them it's more than physical. Number two, for me, it's not about virginity anymore. It's a lifestyle of observing a certain standard of living to maintain my connectivity spiritually to myself, to my higher being, to my vision in life, to what I want. And number three is a matter of dignity. A person who has slept with you doesn't respect you.
Yeah.
A person who can tell people they know you, they have slept with you. You look like you've been naked. Look like you're being dressed down, like you're being stripped. It looks like you're just a loose person. So tell them, for me, it's a matter of dignity and self-respect. When I maintain myself this way, I feel like now I'm in my element. In the past, I may have made mistakes. Those mistakes don't make me. And tell them, the way you're talking, yes or no, you're not a virgin. If this is what you've been doing. So let me introduce you to that life you want to continue living.
Yeah.
That life, what it does is, just because you used to sleep that way and you continue this way, what it does is, it keeps you at a level and it eats up your confidence to stand up to a certain space. Mikali, there's some things you can't ask for unless you are sure you deserve them.
Absolutely.
The reason I want you to maintain your mental peace, the reason I want you to safeguard your sexual space is because when you are tranquil inside, when you're calm, you can see nuances and small things and change in people's behavior. And you can grasp ideas as they pass. One thing I've noted with, we were discussing with one guy whose job is comedy. I was telling him, your job is very emotional, and if you're stressed, you can't make people laugh. Yeah. And I was telling him, me too. My job is so mental that I need to keep my trend of thought. Yeah. And a stressful woman does not need to beat me up to paralyze me. Just enough stress. Just sending you a funny text. And you keep losing your train of thought. Where are we? Cut. What was the topic? Where are we again? What have I said? Okay, now let's go. Am I doing well? Okay, now I was saying, point number one.
Hey.
Imagine having to do a show like that.
Oh, we'll check out. Even I would be like, let's just take 5. Zulu, do you need to talk?
It's a friend now. What is going on? You know, because you have a girl who is punching, who's puncturing your confidence. So I try to maintain that narrow path so that I can deliver. Yeah. Samson was still powerful, but he did not know when the Spirit of God had left him. Let me finish by giving you some instructions that are specific to you. Okay. Sometimes you maintain your sexual space, a certain sexual behavior, because of reasons that you can't explain to people because they're unique to you. Okay. Okay. You can't prescribe them in a widespread way because it's from where you come from. These guys went to Babylon and they were given food and they refused it. They said it had been prayed to idols. It had been dedicated to foreign gods. And according to their faith, they were foreigner here. They had been brought here by force, captivity. But they said they had been enrolled to royal service because they were excellent. Okay. They remind our young people that even when you come from poor background, when you are excellent, excellence is always on demand. Always. Israelites were carried so many to Babylon, but only 4 are featuring in the story. Only Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, because they're excellent. They had a performance. In fact, they were found to be 10 times wiser. How do you measure wisdom? So it's 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. For me, I could only imagine. For every time the king said, invent a solution to this, other guys came with one solution. These boys produced 10. Yeah. That's how I could measure how you measure the resourcefulness of working ideas. How to solve, or they could solve the problem in the 10th of the time. Yeah. You know, the king has a puzzle. These guys are saying, give us time to think. The boys, when they're just standing there, what about this and that? But yeah, that works. Thank you, guys. They were so fast, swift. There's a time I was studying, and the same Daniel was told something that puzzled me. As you study scripture, some verses will puzzle you, and I want you to sit with them. Okay. It's better Charles Spurgeon said, it's better to swim deeply in one verse than to just wash your hand in the whole chapter. Okay, yeah. So sometimes when you feel it inviting you, Go in. So he was told, I have come to give you skill to understand. I was so confused. Skill to understand. I've never associated skill with understanding.
Yeah.
Skill is just aptness. Being able to deliver something skillfully, tailor something skillfully, play the guitar skillfully. But skill to understand, I've now come to give you skill to understand. And he was told, from the time you set your heart.
Okay.
So it began by him setting his heart.
Yes.
And humbled himself to seek what God wanted in that territory, in that generation, that time.
Yeah.
Your prayers were heard. And I was sent. The angel had been caused to hurry up. In fact, he was caused to fly in swift fly. Okay. Sometimes you can have a sense of urgency and it affects the speed of operation. Even above you. Do you know, it told me that these guys, although they refused the food, they had another walk. They had set their hearts to some things. What skill to understand meant was aptness to grasp. How quick you can size up a situation and solve it. To understand is to have insight. Inside view. Yeah. So how quickly you move into inside a situation and solve it. For many people it's too blank. They can't piece together this plus that plus the other. This guy, because he had the skill to understand, he could just zoom in. Shoo, this is because of that, and the puzzle is solved.
Yeah.
You know, and he could solve hard problems. He could enigmas, problems that you don't even understand the question. You know, sometimes you divide a question in exam.
Yes.
That somebody say people are writing 0.6, and my answer is Africa. They argue whether the answer is 0.6 or 0.7.
Oh God! And your answer is Africa. Oh Lord.
So then you miss the question.
Kabisa.
Forget the answer.
It's the question here.
So they argue and you're just that. So you, what is your opinion? What is your opinion? Which question are you guys discussing? We used to avoid postmortem. Discussing the question because people can put you pressure.
Yeah. Proper.
We were going home after KCSE and I sat with this girl, the CRI group. We went home the same time. The guys were done doing CRE. So we finished and this girl was discussing. Do you see how they brought that? He said, you know, I just sang the Sunday. They've been told the angels were singing Hallelujah, Hosanna to heaven, to peace, God, explain the story. So me, I thought it's Moses who had been born. I had not been going to Sunday school. So this guy said, how can they test surely the birth of Jesus? Which paper are we discussing? That guy removed my confidence for the next so many months. Knowing now I'm done.
Yes.
And I used to be among the best in CRE.
Oh goodness.
But I scored B+ because I missed that question completely.
Oh wow.
I just went off the wrong direction.
Which question?
It's supposed to narrate the birth of Jesus. I'm narrating the birth of Moses.
Oh Lord.
So, because it was Sunday school songs and I was not going to Sunday school. Yes. So people just sang songs and the facts came.
That's true. They really helped.
You know? So it's to say, sometimes the instructions that make you not to eat this food, to sleep around, to have sex, are not general and widespread. Yeah. They are personal. According to, now, how would Daniel tell you, although himself he was a eunuch, other guy, they were made eunuch so that they don't contaminate the royal sea. Today we still have a concept like that. Yeah. When you have a royal service, there's some contaminations you don't allow yourself to get into. So what they were allowing here is spiritual, moral contamination, ritually unclean. These foods were not clean for them. And they told this guy, we understand that we should look good. We should feed us well. Yeah. Give us vegetables and let test us after 10 days. If we are badly off, give us the meat then. Yeah. But I tested after 10 days. Again, they were 10 times better than the boys. Although they're eating vegetables. Yeah. Some instructions of keeping pure and eating vegetables, what seems like a boring meal, living a celibate, is connected to your understanding, to your calling, to your clarity. And for men, we usually know that if when you are sexually off, when you are triggered, when you are obsessed with somebody, when they are thinking, they occupy so much of your mind that maintaining your balance is almost impossible. And many men will tell you, I have to look for something to do and discharge the pressure because it's mounting too much. You know, once you allow yourself to be swept off your feet by a woman, you lose it. How? Because they occupy your mind and your thinking. And so the reason a man would practice celibacy is that when he values his stability and mental equilibrium so much, and he knows himself that when he's offset, disturbed, it becomes obsessive and cyclic, and that you don't need to hit him for him to fall. He will fall. It's corrupting from inside.
Yeah.
So for you, sometimes you want to observe celibacy, and you don't have to explain it.
Yeah.
Because you're saying, perhaps now I have a child and they need role modeling about self-control. Perhaps the life I used to live is no longer, I'm no longer that person.
Yeah.
Perhaps my conscience, I know better now. Perhaps I've journeyed so far. Perhaps I'm eyeing. And let me warn you that, Mwikali, what you are born to do, it's not a must that you will do it. If you don't behave, you won't do it.
That's true.
It might have to be transferred to your child.
Yeah.
There are many people who, because they never behaved to be able to perform, when our Lord was being baptized, our Lord spoke from heaven, God spoke from heaven and affirmed, this is my son, in whom I'm well pleased. But people heard voice, others heard thunder. Some said it thundered. And Jesus told them, that voice came because of you. But how come they only heard thunder, some of them? God speaks on a certain energy level. And you must be aligned on a certain level to hear him. Okay. Otherwise, you'll only hear thunder. People who hear thunder are those who are so far removed from God. It says in 1 Kings that God thundered against the Philistines and they were subdued. That thunder and threat usually goes to people who are not aligned. The still small voice and clarity is how aligned you are. This is to say, sometimes you maintain a certain alignment so that you can receive instructions with clarity. You can wake up, study your materials. One thing I was telling my wife, I came to know, I'm not the only one, is that I learned that Samuel was going through, he was going in a circuit, you know, from Bethel. He had 3 cities he was working at, centers where he was a governor, sitting as a judge, you know, giving them instructions and all wisdom and all that. So he would go in a circuit every year after year, and then it says he would always return to Ramah, for there was his home. Okay. He would judge Israel there, and there he had built an altar. So he had a circuit, a routine, year after year. And I learned, I had studied it somewhere. I did not know it was also principle with the people who are governing our own country. A routine. I want to keep my private sexual life stable, to stay on my routine, on my circuit, to sit on the right seat at the right time, to deliver the right instruction at the right time. So the last thing is to tell them, I maintain my sexual place pure so that I can keep stability around my career, keep stability around my routine, keep the track of what I'm supposed to do. That area is too emotional and I can't just let it erupt anyhow. Yeah, I'm keeping myself, even if I never used to keep myself. Yes. You know,
there's a comment on the feedback on this post, and there's a gentleman who says, Zulu, can we address these men? We need a whole show to address men who speak like this. At what level are you to be able to call a woman those things, or expect them to be yours freely just because you're a man? Because it tells you more about the man than it does the woman.
Yes.
So the next time they come at you with that line of, you're not a virgin, who are you feeling for? This is what you say to them. Virginity of the body, I may not have, but I still have my self-respect and my honor. I can't undress just for anyone. Apparently, I still think I'm a treasure and I'm special. If you don't think so, imagine I understand you. It's hard to understand dignity and discipline when you have none of it yourself. By this time, they will have walked away running. But if they don't, please continue. Kindly try the next victim. Those who have disassociated their body from their soul and their feelings so that they can give it to every passerby. If they're still there, continue. My body is a temple, and any mistakes I did in the past do not negate that fact. I am a very different person now, in a very different place. I assure you, they have no clap back after this.